Hello YouTube, this is Rockin Strings coming at you from wherever I am. Alright. Today, I got a special guest with me. I want y'all to meet Rockin Star.
Hi!
Alright.
So today we're going to do a Rockin' Thoughts about A Canterlot Wedding, parts 1 and 2.
Chrysalis is one of the better villains. However, she's still not my favorite. No, Discord got that spot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things in this episode that could have been done a lot better.
I mean, like, let's say, doesn't the crew at Hasbro make people notice that one of the bridesmaids is Lyra?
Yeah, that's more of a fan pandering thing.
True.
Anyways, you want to do the synopsis or you want me?
I don't know.
You don't know what the synopsis is, do you?
No.
Well, it starts off with Spike running to the group. He spits out a note, Twilight reads it, and there's a wedding going on in Canterlot. She's confused at whose wedding it is,
Exactly.
until Spike gives her the other note, in which we find out that
Twilight has a brother. Oh my god. This is so-called Princess Miyamura Cadenza and Shining Armor's first mention. It takes them 3 seasons just to make a mention for 2 important characters.
Yeah, the first time they're being brought up.
Then Twilight goes into a breaking musical, BBBFF. It's an okay song, but I still think they could do a little bit more better with it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a show made for little girls and their songs are more geared towards them, but it is an okay song. I've heard a few remixes of it too, and I don't care for it that much, but to each their own.
When they get to Canterlot, they find out that they see this giant protective bubble, and they're wondering why this is there. When Twilight goes to her brother, Shining Armor, everyone thinks that she is like a...
Right, they all point their lances at her until Shining Armor
They're
makes
like,
it.
why?
Until...
And we're thinking, why didn't Shining Armor say, if you see what a purple pony...
I don't think he knew.
It's my sister.
I don't think he knew she was coming just yet.
Exactly.
However, you're getting a bit far ahead.
True.
Alright. Anyways, when it leaves for the first commercial break, at least I think that's a commercial break, Twilight is the only one not showing great joy at participating in this wedding. And then on the train ride, Spike says that while the girls are all focusing on getting ready for the wedding, Spike gets to throw Shining Armor a bachelor party. Then he has to ask what a bachelor party is.
Exactly, so...
I think that's a bit funny.
It was a bit funny, but usually, even though the show is marketed to younger little girls, they really didn't have to really put in a bachelor party thing, because mainly that is like a thing that they would find out later on in life, so it might have been like a hint towards the adults, like a wink, 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 nudge, 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 stuff like that.
Yeah, and then, alright, when the train pulls into the station, why so many guards? That's a point you actually pointed up to me.
Exactly. I mean, why would there need to be guards at the station if there was a protective bubble? I mean, they would have been expecting a train to be there. So then, when Twilight gets to Shining Armor, as you said, they were pointing their spears at them, and then, as a new thing,
you forgot one of the funny parts.
What? The Pinky sneezing confetti? Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah.
This is what I like about Hasbro. They like to put in like little funny bits that make the show even more funnier. Like for instance, when they got to the station,
it's Pinkie Pie.
Because Pinkie Pie, of course.
Because Pinkie Pie.
Exactly.
My second favorite character.
Exactly, and she's my first.
Well, of the main 6.
Of the main 6, of course. So, there's a new nickname for Twilight. Shining Armor says Twily is her nickname. So, why didn't they make their own or something?
Well, they pointed their spears at her until Shining Armor said something, so... I'm thinking, once they knew she was with him...
They put it down.
Yeah, they put their spears at... And I'm thinking he wasted a bit of magic to show off the shield. He could have just easily told her.
Exactly.
And then, there's one playground rhyme that everybody loves. Well, almost everybody. Sunshine,
sunshine,
ladybugs away.
Clap your hooves and do a little shake. But the thing is, when Princess Cadence doesn't reply to it, Twilight gets suspicious. That is when we immediately know there is something wrong with her. But that's the thing, and no one else notices until the actual second part, where we'll get to later on.
Also, you actually pointed this part out to me too. Nobody noticed that Chrysalis's magic is a different color from Cadence's.
Exactly. Wouldn't even Shining Armor notice that?
I'm thinking Shining Armor would have definitely noticed that her magic is different colored.
Her color of magic was green, then blue. Because usually all the princesses, they always have like blue magic, except Twilight, because her one is purple / bluey-ish. So moving on a little bit later on in the episode, when everyone is too into the wedding, Twilight decides to like spy on what is wrong with her. So like, let's go to the scene when Applejack is cooking those like cupcake thingies. Only she notices that she throws it in the bin, and she only notices like she doesn't really care. Then when we get to the Pinky scene, when she's saying, "Oh, we should do this like games and stuff," when Cadenza says something like, "This would be a great idea for a 5-year-old party," Pinky does not hear that child's remark, but Twilight does.
Also, back to the bridesmaids. One of the bridesmaids is Lyra!
Dun dun dun!
And that brings me back to actually my first episode, cause that puts Lyra back in Canterlot. And yet I thought Lyra lived in Ponyville. Are there 2 Lyras?
Maybe she's a doppelganger.
Actually, that's very possible.
So...
Theory.
A game theory.
There's 2 Lyras.
Okay,
There's gotta be 2 Lyras.
So moving on later into the episode, Luna, she decides to fly in, and a little bubble like thing pops out, like a circle. How does that even happen? Like, does like the bubble know what?
I would think that Shining Armor is watching, and when he sees her coming, he opens it for her.
But where has Luna been the exact time? And when she says these exact words, "As always, I will guard the night, sister." What does that mean exactly? Does she like... I know that she pulls up the moon, but what does exactly mean she guards the night? Does she like guard it from the changelings and stuff?
I don't know.
So moving on to when they're at the drinks area thingy, Twilight has like a fit, saying there is something wrong with this woman. There is something wrong with her.
And they're in apparently a new part of Canterlot that we haven't seen yet.
And there's exactly. We have never seen that part of Canterlot until later on in like the series, when they go back to Canterlot and stuff like that. But also the thing is...
Oh yeah, Fluttershy pulled a Pinkie Pie.
But also, when Fluttershy pulls up the bird, where did that bird come from? Was it in her pocket the entire time? I thought she was a flipping honest being.
She pulled a Pinkie Pie.
Exactly, as well. But then...
And speaking of Pinkie Pie, her and Spike were childish together.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Then again, that's something I would expect. Pinkie Pie, I could see getting along with Spike as childish friends.
Exactly.
Even if Pinkie's a full-grown woman.
Going back to when one of the bridesmaids we saw was Lyra, why did when Chrysalis gave them that glare, they just acted like all scared and stuff? Like, do they know that she's Queen Chrysalis or something like that? And then when Twilight is she that strong enough to slam her hoof on the table and make all 7 of the drinks flip over?
Yeah, all 7 drinks do tip when she slammed both her hoofs on the table, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, both hoofs on the table and tipped all 7 drinks.
Okay, going on later into the episode. Also, when we see that part when Twilight, she enters like that little house area when Cadenza and Shining Armor are arguing. When I don't understand, but why is Shining Armor's brooch have the exact same cutie mark as Twilight? I mean, it doesn't have like these little stars across it.
Well, it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar.
It's similar. It's just like has the like the element of harmony type of magic thingy.
He also has the same star on his eye as part of his cutie mark.
Like, were they lazy enough? They just decided to put a shield and then put Twilight's cutie mark in it. So going on later a little bit, like 3 or 2 minutes out later, we see Twilight thinks when Cadenza and Shining Armor are arguing, she decides to heal him, quotation marks. So this is when we get to the tricky part. Do we know, does Twilight think that's Twily, quotation marks, does she think that something's happening to Shining Armor or something like that?
I think he needs a new nickname for her.
Why, exactly. Why can't we just go with Twilight? Is he that lazy to say Twily instead of Twilight? So also, that's the thing. Why does she think that something's happening to her? So when they're practicing the wedding, we go to the part, Twilight just goes like, she's a fake! And then she starts to cry. Then everyone is pissed at her.
You're still skipping ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I am very...
Because in my notes, remember, I'm trying to keep the notes in order. Because my next thing in my notes is, what does Twilight think is happening to her brother and why?
I already said that part, when she was healing him.
Right, you just did. And then the next line from Luna. Who goes there? Stay indoors, Twilight Sparkle.
Oh yeah. Okay, so...
That's only the second line we hear from Luna.
Throughout
this whole two-parter.
Yeah, exactly. So then, when we go later on, that we see that there's a change of the bridesmaids. So...
Which we later find out from Shining Armor, after Twilight manages to piss everybody off, that the original bridesmaids, according to him, only wanted to be in the wedding so they could meet Canterlot royalty.
Exactly. So, when everyone is pissed at her, they run off. But then when Cadence comes back, evil Cadence to be exact, that it's a perfect place to end the first episode.
I don't think that place is so perfect to end it, because we don't know what happened to Twilight.
Exactly.
I mean, how I would have done it is sending her down and then show a scene of her in the cave looking around and just end it there.
Exactly. So then when
They couldn't have spared just one more minute?
Yeah, exactly. So, going on to the next episode...
Well, actually, before we do go on to the next episode, I think this would be a good place to stop this part and save the rest for the second episode.
Yes, I think it should. So, we shall see you in the next episode. Peace out, guys.
When I was just a colt, I found you were adult if you tried finding how many ponies you could meet. My nose deep in a book, I didn't even think to look for other ponies to make my life complete. But there was one filly I cared for, I knew she would be there for me. My big sister, best friend forever. Like two peas in a pod, we did everything together. She taught me how to fly a kite. Best friends forever. We never had a single fight. We did everything together. We shared our hopes, we shared our dreams. I miss her more